some running. Thank you, Tree.
Yeah,
got Tree. That on film, baby. It's all right, I'll just go home with 3 less toes.
That's wonderful. See, it's got a little bit of protein in it, which your body needs in a long ultra, because if you don't eat the protein too, not lots of it, you'll start to lose your muscles will start to feel a lot worse. So at least that's what I've experienced.
We are just about 3.7 miles into our 2-hour journey, if you could call it that. We're planning on doing somewhere between 10 and 11 miles today, time permitting. But feeling good so far.
Like when Sarah and I were backpacking, I was just focused right on the ground for such a long time, and I didn't even notice what was going off to my right. And Sarah goes, "Hey, make sure you're watching where you're going." I'm like, "I am." She goes, "Well, look to your right." And I looked to my right, and there was just no earth. This is a giant hole. I was like, yeah, I guess I need to pay a little bit better of attention of what's on my right and my left instead of just what's in front of me. But man, I looked and my eyes just went, it's like they went into shock. There was nowhere for them to go. It's a weird feeling, but neat.
I remembered again why I don't like these shoes.
Why is that?
Starting to rub.
Yeah, I listen to these podcasts and they say, in 100 milers, you're always going to have walking sections. Well, for the normal person. So they say you got to practice that walking and that power hiking on your training runs.
Right.
So I try when I do my walks and my training runs, I try not to forget power hike the hill. Not too hard, but just good and efficient.
The maple syrup point. Pretty sweet. Whew. Fine now. Jeez. We're at mile 7, about just over mile 7.5. Brenton just ate the rest of his Lara bar, or his second one.
The rest of the first one.
Rest of the first one. And I just had refilled on G1M Sport, getting my boob here, as Brenton calls it, and just ate a banana. So I've never eaten a banana mid-run. So we'll see how that goes.
We got bathroom all around it.
That's true. So we just wrapped up 11 and a half miles in about 2 hours and 25 minutes. A little bit longer than we wanted to go, but more miles isn't a problem.
After a long run, I just like to lay down, take my foot up in the figure 8 and just pull up and just rest for a while until I feel tired, and then I'll switch to the other side. And then when I'm done with that, I'll lean up and I'll put my feet up against the wall. And I'll just sit like that for a while and let all the, I don't know, whatever builds up in my legs just flow down. This one was way more enjoyable and relaxed. My last few runs, I've been coming off of an 8-mile run right beforehand on the day before, and I didn't run yesterday, and so this was a breeze. This one I felt the energy the whole time. No tired legs, but the trails are still amazing and fun. They're rough. They treat me good.
The first year he did which one was that?
The Burning River?
Burning River. I was supposed to pace him the second half, and he finally came in after like an hour and a half of waiting. He finally came into the aid station halfway through. He was there for about 30 minutes. We stepped off, and we walked for about 2 miles, and he looked over at me. He said, "I got to be honest, I'm done." So last year, you actually weren't gonna do the 100-miler, right?
After I ran a 50-miler, I told myself I'm never doing it again. And so I tried to give away my Burning River 100-mile pass, but told myself I'm in the best shape I'm ever in my life. I might as well go for it again. And so I ended up feeling good within the next month, and so I attempted a Burning River again.
You got about, what, 77 miles this time?
77.
So this year...
Last year, 100.
100?
Yep.
All right, it's recorded here, so...
I feel even better this year than last year.
Well, that's good. So if I do 100 in December, you'll probably be the one that's gonna run with me, right?
Yep.
Yeah, we'll see.
I'll drive all the way down to North Carolina just to meet you at mile 50 when you're going to tell me you're going to tap out.
No, that's only you.
Have you done a 30-miler yet?
No.
So you got time to sign up and do a 30-miler. You got time to sign up and do a 50-miler. And then you'll want to give away all your reason for doing a 100-miler because it just sucks being out there that long. Especially when it's not your A race.
Right.
But then once your A race comes, man, you'll be so excited. You'll be ready to do it.
For about the first 20 miles, right?
Yeah, and even after that, even last year when I was doing the Burning River for the second time, every time I was, like for the whole first 50 miles again, it's just, I could remember what it felt like the year before with my injury. And just being out there again this year, I was just in such a happy mood. Just so happy to be there, and just, it's beautiful, just soaking it all in. It was neat, you know, it was a cherishable moment. Just being able to do it. Meeting all the people along the way. The guy behind me was 76 years old at one point. Man. He was a stud.
Did you have anyone pace you last year?
No. No pacers last year because just I hated having pacers the year before and knowing that I had to cancel on them all. And so I just felt bad last year. So this past year I didn't have any. This year I'll have some again.
Maybe that'll be my first 50-miler.
Yeah, well,
It'd probably be an easy one for me since once you get to mile 50, you're probably going to slow it down a little bit.
Yeah, it becomes a walk.
Gradually, by looking well down the road, these techniques avoid turning precious gas into wasted heat.
Our campaign going into Leadville 100 was more than the miles. And the reason we called it...
Just made it back from the trails, and I want to talk about that experience, talk about the run, how I was feeling, everything. But first, let's shower and get something to eat. It is finally time to refuel after that 11.5 mile trail run. Now what we have going on here is 2 servings of rice and then 2 chicken thighs with bone in and skin on, just because I grabbed the wrong package.
That's what she said.
Let's dive into this for a very late lunch because it's 4:40 p.m. And then we'll talk about the run and my plans for the future of racing and running and how that running trails plays into that. Currently sipping on some Peak Sleep because I'm gonna need some help getting to sleep tonight. I had like a 14 ounce, like full cup of full caffeinated coffee at like 5:30. So current time's like 11:20. So I'm gonna need some help getting to sleep. But I wanted to go over what was going through my head during the trail run, some of the things I was thinking about for the future of my running career, and kind of the endeavors that I want to get into. So at the beginning of this year, I made a video that said I wanted to run 4 marathons and that I wanted to attempt to do a 100-mile ultra marathon this year. And so far, I'm on the way to doing 2 marathons, and in the next couple weeks, I'm probably going to be signing up for my first 50-mile race. Going into the run today, I was a lot more physically prepared than last time I ran at that specific site, and just felt a lot better. Felt like my lungs have a better capacity. I'm just in better running shape. But even though I'm doing 50 to 55-ish miles right now during my marathon prep, ultra running is a completely different monster. You have to train a different way. There's a crap ton of elevation change that you've got to get used to. You've got to train yourself to be a little more aware so that you don't fall like you saw in the beginning of this video. You got to learn to cope with the low spots and be able to just push through it. The other thing that really was going through my head too during this run was I want to shoot a running documentary, and I'm putting this out into the world because I want it to happen. Blending running and filmmaking is something that is like just has been a dream of mine for, well, ever since I started filmmaking, but also ever since I started running and watching running documentaries, just being able to create those with the music and the sound effects and the storyline and the visuals and just everything put together. Just that's really what's been on my mind the last like 2 weeks is running documentary. That's just something I really, really want to do. I had my camera with me to film a few clips of me running as B-roll for this video, so I thought, why not get a few clips and do a voiceover for this workout since I haven't for a while. You can see me starting out with overhead press as my main compound movement for this workout. Usually I try to include 2 to 3 compound movements, but I did 4x6 at 115 pounds, I think this is, and felt pretty strong. Then I moved into 4 sets of cable lateral raises, and I did those for each side. And if you notice here in this angle, I'm trying to keep my elbow coming up before my wrist to initiate the movement, really squeeze my shoulder. And then I'm also hanging on to the bar there, but I'm not using it for any momentum. That brings me into the last movement for shoulders. I did 4 by like 15 or 20 rear delt flies. I think this is what it would be. And if you notice, the movement is really small. And then again, I'm trying to lead with my elbows, but I'm kind of just trying to flare my elbows like horizontally and let that control the movement. And this is a really tough movement to do with heavy weights, so you really want to use light weights here because the muscles are pretty small. And then I had like 10 minutes left, so I decided to do some arms. I started with tricep extensions, and you'll see here that I'm using 2 ropes so that I get a better range of motion and can go past my hips and just get a better squeeze. And then I supersetted those with bicep cable curls. And for each of these exercises, I just kind of went until I couldn't anymore and rode the stack all the way down. Got a pretty good pump to end out the gym portion of the workout today. Just finished up the shoulder workout and had like 10 minutes left before I have to change and run. So I decided I would get a couple of sessions or a couple of sets of arms in because my arms are extremely lacking, as well as my chest. Running on the treadmill is nothing like running outside. There's nothing to look at, there's nothing to listen to, even the birds or the nature or anything. It's just, and I don't want to listen to the music, so I'll throw a podcast on or watch like a documentary, usually a running documentary to get me inspired or something. But I'm gonna fill this up with G1M Sport, and we have about 50 or so minutes. Gonna try to get about 6 or so miles in, and then I'll probably have to finish up outside once I get home. So yeah, gonna need something to distract me, which will bring me into the next point that I want to make in this video. So we only got about 3.5 miles on the treadmill. So I was doing all those clips of me running. We're gonna go home, hit another 4.5 miles and call it a night. I feel like I'm running off of fumes though, so I might have to take either another scoop of G1M Sport or another banana. We'll see you at home. What is a distraction? And I'm thinking, why do I say it that way? Distraction. Enunciate that way. Why haven't I ever thought of it as a distraction? You know? And I kind of had an aha moment there. When I say it the way distraction, it flips this mental switch. And it got me thinking, what is traction? Well, traction is getting a grip so then that you can start to get some momentum, start moving. And a distraction or distraction is the opposite of that. And I think that's what's been keeping me from getting the stuff done that I need to get done. I think that's the biggest reason why I've been feeling so mentally dull lately. And that's the reason why I wasn't able to do my 15-mile run on Saturday. It's just the entire time on Saturday I was trying to work on that wedding film. I just kept getting distracted. And then I thought it was that I was just burnt out. But really, I couldn't lock into a creative mindset because I kept on getting distracted. Like if I'm distracted, if I don't have any traction, how am I supposed to grow myself? How am I supposed to grow my business? How am I supposed to grow anything if I keep getting taken off track and I keep losing grip and I don't get any momentum? The only thing that is stopping me from progressing right now anyway is myself. So if I just stop letting myself get distracted, if I can do that consistently, then I'll start to get somewhere. This thing with this business will start to grow. I'll start to grow personally. And then finally, that leads me to, I need to stop being inconsistently consistent. Like, I'll be consistent, I'll work like 3 days in a row, like really good, and feel super good about it. I'll take a day off, and it'll lead into 2 days off, 3 days off, and I'll start having trouble being creative, getting work done. Then my training sessions will start to suffer. I'll start to wait until 5, 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock to go on my runs. And then I'll start to get discouraged because I'll have to do my run and then I didn't get my lift in that I wanted to get in. And so I gotta stop being inconsistently consistent and keep committing to consistency. Be consistent in everything that I do. So that is gonna wrap up the video. Hope you guys learned something from it. If you liked it, if you got some value from it, or just laughed, then hit the like button. If you want to subscribe to see more of this pretty face, see more of the things I do on a daily basis, then do so. And that's gonna be it for this one. See you guys in the next video.